Welcome back, my friends, in our sessions for literature and analyzing the poem Child to His Sick Grandfather. Last time we were talking about the first two stanzas. Now we're going to continue talking about the other stanzas, stanza 3. Here he said, how lank and thin your beard hangs down, scant are the white hairs on your crown, how wan and hollow are your cheeks, your brow is crossed with many streaks, but yet although his strength is fled, I love my own all that. Okay, so again here the child is moving on to describing the physical appearance of his grandfather. Okay, he's talking now about his beard, how they are hanging down, okay, very thinly, which shows that he is not the same grandfather. There is a great change in his appearance. Okay, also concerning the hair on his head, he said that there are very few hairs on the head and his cheeks are hollow. So everything concerning the father, the appearance of the father is completely changed. Okay? He's talking about the wrinkles, he's talking about the eyebrows, he's talking about there is a great change in the appearance of the grandfather. He's not the same good looking guy that the child used to look at. Although he mentioned all the changes, all the negative changes that happened to the grandfather, and by the end he said nothing will decrease my love to my grandfather. Okay, he still loves his own grandfather. Okay, so it's very obvious, it's very clear that the child is not gonna change his point of view towards his grandfather. This is very clear. Okay, this is concerning the analysis or the paraphrase of stanza 3. Concerning the literary devices, as you can see, we have a lot of literary devices concerning of the word repetition, the refrain, the imagery, the alliteration, the consonants, and how we have a new device, which is the personification. I'm going to start with the personification by stating that line 5 has a personification when he mentioned, although his strength be fled. Fled here means escape or run away. So he described, or he personifies, the right word should be used with the word personification. He's going to say that the poet personifies the strength as a person who can run away. So he wants to visualize this image that he cannot move anymore. He's very weak, that his strength escaped, that his strength is no longer there. He's very old, he's very weak, he cannot move, he cannot get out of bed. So this is the personification. Of course, the alliteration we have in line 6, we have on and old, the off sound. Also we have the h sound in line 3 in how and hollow. Okay, in you and your. Okay, these are the alliteration found in this poem, in this stanza. Also we have consonants for the w sound again, which is in line 2 when he said white crown. Okay, the w sound in white and the w and the w sound in crown. Also the w sound in line 3 in how and hollow. Okay, the w sound again. This is consonants, the repetition of the sound of the off sound. Also we have another technique, which is metonymy, something associated with something else. When I'm talking about white hair on your crown, okay, crown here stands for the head. Okay, so this is a kind of metonymy. If you look about the lines, I can find that we have a lot of imagery in line 1 and line 3 and line 5. We have a lot of imagery. It's very clear when he said how lank and thin your beard hangs down. So he wants to visualize how the grandfather became very old. I think also line 2 when he said the white hairs on your crown. Okay, this is also another imagery. Of course, the personification, it's a very clear imagery when he's trying to describe the old age of this grandfather and how he was losing his strength, as if the strength is running away from him. It's very clear, it's very obvious. Okay, so this is concerning stanza 3, all about the derivative devices mentioned here, whether it's alliteration, whether it's imagery, repetition, metonymy, personification, consonants with the repetition of the what sound in different words in different places, but it should be in the same line. Let's go to stanza 4, and here there is a kind of shifting from the description of the physical appearance of the grandfather and the memories between the grandfather and the son to something else. Now I'm going to go to the larger scale. Okay, here he says, the housewives round their potion probe, and gossips come to ask for you, and for your weal each neighbor curs, and good men kneel and say their prayers, and everybody looks so sad when you are ailing them. See, now he's not talking about himself anymore. He's talking about the gathering of people, how people are gathering in their house, and how women or housewives are making soup for the grandfather for him to eat, how people are coming to ask about him and giving their blessings and asking or saying their prayers for the grandfather to be well again, and all of them are looking very sad. Okay, all of them are looking very sad. They don't want to see the grandfather laying in bed, and he's very, very ill. So it's very obvious that there is a change in feelings, and there is a change in the mood of the poem. Here we find out that the speaker branches out from his description of his grandfathers to spend time speaking on the others who have come to visit. Okay, he's talking about the housewives who gathered round their soup. Okay, they are cooking now and bringing food for the ailing old man, the man who is in pain. There are also the gossips who are always seeking out new topics. Gossips means people who are talking about other people. This is the action of gossiping. Okay, when we keep talking about other people who are not there. Okay, and I think that you know this word in Arabic, namima. Okay, visiting and asking about the grandfather. The neighbors, okay, they are taking care of his health. They all have come with the best intentions. All of them are coming to give their wishes for the grandfather to be well one day, or to say their prayers so the grandfather will stand on his feet one day. But here the son or the grandson, he doesn't care about anyone except for his grandfather. No matter who visits, though, everyone looks sad. The child is having a hard time comprehending what's going on. He doesn't understand why is his grandfather ailing. He doesn't know what's going on, why the gathering is not a happy gathering. Although we have a lot of people in the house, all the people coming in and out, but they are not happy, they are sad. And again, I'm talking about the internal conflict. What's going on? He doesn't understand what's going on. You need to understand it, to comprehend it. But he doesn't understand, or maybe he doesn't want to understand. It's a kind of denying, as the denying mentioned in the first stanza, when he said, they say he's old and frail. Okay, he is rejecting or denying the idea that the grandfather is sick or the grandfather might die one day. He is denying this idea. My grandfather is not old. So that's why he changed the pronoun immediately. He's not using you or I. When he's using you, so it means that he is addressing or talking about his grandfather. When he's talking about I, he is expressing his own feelings. I did this, I did that, I'm thinking, I'm memorizing, okay? So these are the two pronouns that he's using. Either he's expressing his own emotions, so he's using the I or me or my pronoun, the first person, or he's using the you and your pronouns because he's addressing, this is a direct address to the grandfather, okay? But when he is denying or rejecting an idea, he's using the third person, as it was mentioned in line 1 in stanza 1, okay? So he doesn't understand what's going on. He needs to understand. He wants to know what's going on. Okay, so this is very important, the change in the feeling from one stanza to another, the mood of the poem, from the words of the narrator, from the words of the poet. Okay, so this is very important, the shifting every now and then. Concerning this stanza, we have a lot of new techniques mentioned here, like the word, for example, anaphora. You remember the anaphora? It's a group of words or phrases or a word mentioned at the beginning of a sentence. When it is repeated more than twice, or starting from twice, we call this is anaphora, not repetition. So if I'm going to say that we have anaphora here, so it is the word and gossips, and for, and good men, and everybody. So we have 4 ands at the beginning of 4 lines. So this is anaphora. And of course the emphasis, they are emphasizing or listing down what's going on in the grandfather's house. Okay, so he is listing here. He wants to show us that this is a different change of gathering. Okay, it's not the normal one, it's not a happy one. Okay, but a lot of people are going in and out of the house. Each one of them is doing something different from the others. So he is listing. That's why he used the word and at the beginning of 4 lines. If we're going to talk about the repetition, of course the repetition is very clear and obvious, again with the usage of you and your, the repetition of yes, I think that is you and your in this poem, in this stanza. Also we have something else which is called anastrophe. If you remember the word anastrophe, which is the change in the order of the sentence. I put a word in not in its right place, like in line 3, when I said, and for your weal each neighbor cares. It should be each neighbor cares for your weal, for your well-being, for your health. So this is anastrophe. We started with the noun instead of the subject of the sentence and then the verb. And the right order should be each neighbor cares for your weal. Weal here means your well-being, your health. So this is anastrophe. We're going to look at the alliteration. We're going to find so, sad, there, the, and, ask, are, ailing. Okay, these are a lot of alliteration in different lines. Okay, we can say that there is a kind of imagery. Of course, it's very obvious in line 1. And talk about the housewives round the portion pro. Also in line 4, when he said, and good men kneel and say their prayers. This is another imagery. In line 5, when he said, and everybody looks so sad. So he's talking about here about the looks of the people who are coming to visit the granddad. We have consonants with the word men, kneel. Okay, the sound. We have assonance with the word for, your. Okay, so men and kneel, the repetition is the N sound, that's why it is consonant. While in the assonance for, your, o, this is the O sound that you can hear. So this is the repetition of the O sound, which is a vowel. Some people say that we can find here a personification. When I say gossips come to ask for you, people say that if I'm talking about gossiping, so he personifies gossiping as human beings who are talking. Okay, if you interpret it or if you explain it in this way, yes, we can accept that this is a personification. But when I'm talking about gossips, so I'm talking about actually people who talk about other people. Okay, so it's a kind of an autonomy because I'm referring or the gossips are associated with housewives. Women used to gossip. Women used to talk, okay, about other people. So this is metonymy. If we can explain it, either you can say it's a personification, or you can say that this is a metonymy. In the 4th, so this is the end of stanza 4. I hope that you understand it well. Until we meet again, inshallah, I wish you all the best of luck, and please revise these stanzas, because every now and then we are adding more emotions and more feelings to the poem. Thank you. Goodbye.